Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. Spent quite a few hours at the track doing some testing and tuning of my three four-wheel drive buggies that I own. So I've got the Schumacher CAT L1 Evo, which came out pretty much about 10 months ago, beginning of this year. The TLR 22X-4 came out, I don't know, like March or so of this year. And then the brand new Team Associated B74.1, which just came out about a month ago. And yeah, just drove them, took some running footage, thought you guys might be interested in checking that out. So I'll have some running footage of these three vehicles after this quick little update. And just want to talk about the kits real quick. This is not like a full review or anything, but for those of you that are interested in how they drive, kind of some characteristics, I thought I'd share them while they're still fresh in my mind. So first off, the Schumacher CAT L1 Evo. I'm running the Trish Neal setup. I think it's called the Dawn stock setup or something from earlier this year. So yeah, that setup's pretty good for carpet. I'm running on gray carpet at my local track, NorCal Hobbies, so that's definitely a pretty good setup. Made some small changes to this from that setup, so pulling off the body. I do find that there's not enough flex in this vehicle, so I'm just running the regular chassis, but I removed the middle braces up here, the carbon fiber braces across the top there, just to get a little more flex in this vehicle, because it does run really rigid, so that does seem to help. Also removed some limiters in the shocks, or I'm sorry, added a 1mm limiter in each shock, because it's just a little too much droop. And so basically the rear end was kind of lifting pretty far in the corner, so that kind of helped a bit. And I'm just running the regular zero offset hexes because the plus 1.5 hexes seemed a little too wide. So overall, this vehicle I think is kind of the slowest. It feels like there's the most drag in the drivetrain, so for stock, maybe not the best option. I'm also running like a steel spur gear, so that definitely does not help this super heavy spur gear. I'm gonna order up some aluminum ones to line that up a little bit. But yeah, pretty cool truck. Obviously belt drive, a little bit smooth. Does not jump and land. It's probably the worst of the three. I think partly due to the amount of rigidity in the chassis. So running like the flex chassis might work a little bit better, but it's just not quite as forgiving on landing. So you definitely need to land this pretty clean, just due to the, I don't know, there's something about belt drive cars, for some reason they don't land as well in my opinion than the shaft drive stuff. So a little bit slower, a little bit worse in the air. It also nosedives a bit, but yeah, very stable. This I think is the heaviest of the three vehicles, so it is very stable. Doesn't do anything too crazy. You're definitely going to be looking more on the steering side of things rather than the, trying to reduce steering. So just kind of a basic, easy to drive vehicle. Pretty good overall. Definitely mess around with setups. That is one thing I will say, is that the way these drive definitely depends a lot on the setup. So you need to find a setup and driver that matches how you like your cars to behave. And for me, the Trish Neal setup definitely works pretty good. I am also able to run like the most aggressive tires. So I was also testing out a ton of different tires. And these are the Cactus Fusions up front, which are the most aggressive tires I own and generally ever try to run. And then I'm running like mini pin ones in the rear. These are Schumacher tires, which tend to be quite aggressive and quite grippy. So this can handle it, so that's pretty cool. Definitely does not have a problem with traction rolling or anything if you run those aggressive tires. Then in the middle, I've got the TLR 22X4. This is definitely kind of the wild animal of the bunch. Crazy fast, a little bit untamed. I think for the most part, people are going to be trying to dial it down a bit. Steering wise, it's crazy. Corner speed is pretty crazy. It feels super light, and I'm pretty sure it is the lightest of the three buggies. So very nimble, very agile, but a little out of control. So I'm actually running these fairly worn out Schumacher, I think they're the cut staggers, basically just to kind of numb down the steering a little bit. I also have the speed and the dual rate on mine turned down quite a bit. Yeah, it's just got steering for days, way more than I think a normal sane person would actually run. So for the most part, you're trying to dial it down and get it to drive a little more easier, because I feel like if you're like like a world-class racer, you would probably be able to drive this thing, but for normal regular Joes, this can be a bit of a handful at times. And I think you'll kind of see that in the video, but I do think it carries the most speed though. I do have ceramic bearings in this thing, but I'm only running a 13.5 motor, and this thing, you know, is pretty quick for 13.5, and the drivetrain is super free. It accelerates hard, brakes hard. It just does everything really fast. And then finally, I got the Team Associated B74.1, probably the most neutral, easiest to drive out of the box. So I'm running just the stock kit setup. I think it's really good out of the box. Most people are going to be, you know, like 90% there or 95% there just with the stock kit setup. Running Proline tires on this, but I also tested other tires as well. So if you're running Schumacher offset wheels, you definitely need to at least run the 4mm front hexes, because otherwise they're going to stick out way too far. And I think even then they still stick out probably about 1 millimeter too far. So I am trying different wheel offsets as well, because to kind of get back to that stock geometry, I think you need probably something even a little more narrow. But very easy to drive. Super neutral. I think for most people, you know, that don't want to do any sort of testing or tuning and just want to build it and drive it, I mean, this is probably going to be a really good choice because it's just easy to drive. And I think you'll kind of see that in the video. I mean, it's so easy to drive that I think it also helps with the precision, being able to place it where you want, because it always is consistently doing the same thing lap after lap. Corner after corner. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoy this running footage of these three vehicles. Might see something and kind of get some ideas on how they actually drive. And you know, like I mentioned, it depends a whole ton on setup. I'm running the Trish Neal carpet setup over there. I'm running the Frank Root Toys for Tots carpet setup here with basically all the carpet option parts that you need. It's about $120 worth of extra parts. And then just kit setup on the B74.1. If you have the wrong setup or you have the wrong driving style for that setup, you will definitely see some, you know, sort of things you don't like about the way they behave. So getting the right kit setup is honestly like 9% of how the cars drive. You can make any car pretty much drive however you want if you have the right setup. So anyways, thanks for checking this out. Definitely hit the like, share, subscribe video, and enjoy the running footage.